Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. Am I audible? Say yes on chat. Okay, so I'm audible, right? Thank you, Aniket. All right. So today we will be starting our new session for Sophos XG. We'll continue with our module. The first module we will cover. We also have a quick recap for the last session that we have covered. जो हमने last session में cover किया था वो हम discuss करेंगे, and we will continue to the next topics, as well as we will cover some of the lab session today. So you will get much more idea about the Sophos XG firewall, how to configure, how to deploy, how to, yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me start by sharing my screen. All right. If you find me, if I'm not audible properly, you can just let me know. I will be sharing my screen. All right. All right. So I hope my screen is visible. You can see, welcome to NetGUI Technologies, Sophos training firewall. All right. So today we will discuss about some theory part, and mostly I will drive you through the lab as well, what we have covered last. So last time we have covered the topics which we'll be covering in upcoming slides. So there will be quick recap that we have covered till now. So yes, let me just begin with the next slide here. So before starting this course, yes, of course, अगर ये आप Sophos course start करते हैं, there's definitely, yes, of course, if you have worked with network security devices like router or switches, then it is very easy for you to understand this course. So yes, there is no prerequisite for this course. However, it is recommended that you should know the following knowledge like networking, which includes subnetting, routing, static routing, dynamic routings, concept of VLANs, and some VPN technologies. All right. So because we will be implementing those the same thing on Sophos Firewall. Sophos Firewall में भी हम पूरा जैसे सिस्को का राउटर कॉन्फ़िगर करता है या फिर कोई सा भी फायरवॉल कॉन्फ़िगर करता है, सेम वे हम Sophos XG फायरवॉल कॉन्फ़िगर करेंगे, where it has all the practical knowledge of networking. जो भी हमने routing switching में किया है, same thing हम Sophos XG firewall के साथ करेंगे, including different type of subnet and most important segmentation, which help us for networking purpose, as well as अगर आपके पास static, if you have already worked with static routing and dynamic protocols for routing, it is much easier to configure on Sophos firewall. जिन्होंने नहीं किया, no worries, we will configure from step 1 so that you will understand what is routing. So आप firewall से भी, those who are new to firewall, you can start learning the routing from Sophos XG firewall. All right. We will discuss the doubt. Just allow me some time. We will discuss something, and I will take your questions one by one. All right. So yes, you also if you have experience with the network security device, then it is very easy for you to configure Sophos XG firewall and maintain. So you should also have some fundamental knowledge of encryption and hashing algorithm, and few knowledge about this, how CA authority works for the certificate. All right. So let's be, so last time, as if you have watched our previous videos, we have covered that what are the modules that we'll be covering up in this batch. So we have around 12 modules. So we will be starting with Sophos XG overview. The second module will be starting with the getting start with Sophos XG Firewall. Third module would be, again, it would be network protection. Fourth would be site-to-site connection. Fifth would be authentication. Sixth and seventh would be controlling your network traffic for web and application control. Eighth would be email protection. Ninth would be remote access for granting access to the users from outside. Also, we will configure wireless network and its protection. We will see the logging and reporting through Sophos XG Firewall, and we will manage multiple firewalls, not only one firewall, but more than multiple firewall also in our lab from central management, that is from Sophos Central, how we can push the configuration, how we can update the firewall at once, and so on. So we'll configure, we will see in the 12th module. So these are the modules we'll be covering up, but today we will cover, we will start with the module number 1 and module number 2. As this is the live session, it would be a mixture of both. So we will start with the module 1 and module 2, and we will do some practical lab work in this session. All right, so next would be the course objectives. I hope I am audible and the screen is visible to you. Can you see the next slide? Say yes on chat if it is there.
Yeah, it's clear going on.
Okay, sounds great. So the course objectives would be, once you complete this course, you will be able to explain how Sophos Firewall protect against these security threats. We will configure firewall rules, the policies, and user authentication. We will also demonstrate threat protection and commonly used features. We will perform initial setup of Sophos Firewall and configure the required settings. So जब भी हमारा एक course खत्म हो गया, तब तक you will be completely aware about how to protect your network against any type of latest malware and security threats. You will learn how to configure firewall rules, policies, and user authentication. All right, and we will demonstrate how threat protections help us to protect any type of attack or any type of malware attack, and commonly used features. And initially, we have already, in the last session, we have already performed the setup of Sophos XG Firewall and configure the basic network configuration settings. So we will do that thing. We will deploy the firewall today with the same setting again today. And anyone has, if anyone has doubt, there's of course, we will discuss those things in the end of this session. Okay, so let me just put on the next slide. So getting started with Sophos Firewall. So we will see, let me just wait for a while. I believe I'm audible, everyone. Say on chat, yes, if I'm audible right now. So the next would be getting started with Sophos XG Firewall. So we will discuss the common deployment scenarios. We will configure Sophos Firewall as a gateway mode. We will configure firewall in the bridge mode, also in the mixed mode. तो जो हमारा पहला सेशन होगा वहाँ पे हमने already Sophos Firewall as a gateway configure किया है. So we'll see what is the difference between gateway mode, bridge mode, and what is mixed mode, how we can together configure everything in one Sophos Firewall in our lab. Also, we will discuss in the real life scenario. We will see web protection. We will see deployment and setup. What options we have? कहाँ पे हम Sophos firewall को deploy कर सकते हैं? All right. What are the options available? Then we will take the console access of the Sophos XG firewall, and also we will take the web admin access of the Sophos XG firewall to start our initial setup for the Sophos firewall. All right. We will also navigate to the objects, how we can manage those objects, how we can put those objects into the profile or into the firewall rule, and we can configure the as per our network topology. All right. So yes, of course, we will start with the interface and routing. So जब भी हम lab कर रहे हैं, then we will start configuring first interface zone, and then we will see with the static routing, and we will also see with the dynamic routing how we can deploy in our network topology. We will configure DNS on Sophos XG firewall, also DHCP, and how traffic flows for DNS, DHCP, and the rest of the traffic on through the Sophos XG firewall. We will also look into the device access, how we can securely access the firewall, how we can securely administrate the Sophos XG firewall with help of device access and certificate. All right. I think we'll have some lag. Okay. Okay. So in the network protection module, in this module, we'll configure firewall rule and net, which we have discussed in the last session. So we'll configure firewall rule and what are net rules. We will configure multiple firewall rules to understand how firewall and the firewall rule and net rules works. Also, we will encrypt and decrypt the traffic with help of TLS description profile. So we'll create TLS and TLS inception rules and policies will apply on the rules to scan the traffic for any type of malware. And we will see how we can troubleshoot in case of any issue while accessing any website while applying the policy. अगर आपने कोई policy apply की हुई है, अगर उसके बाद कोई issue आ रहा है, then we will troubleshoot how we can find out what is the exact policy causing the issue. All right, we will discuss, yes, of course, in the batch. We will also discuss about the fast part and the slow part later on, but that would be in the upcoming module. So we'll also see the web protection. All right, so let's say हम port forwarding करते हैं, right? तो जैसे हम port forwarding करते हैं, अगर कोई server है, if you want to access from outside, okay, that can be done with the help of firewall rule and net rule. But we will also secure the web server or any services that are hosted behind the firewall, जो भी Sophos firewall के साथ connected है, उसको हम protect करेंगे with help of WAF. Okay, so we have WAF license. We will see how WAF works. We also see intrusion IPS policy, that is intrusion prevention system. So we will use the default policies, and we will also use the custom policies to protect the network from any type of attack or scanning any traffic. We will enable the spoof prevention and what are DOS protection on Sophos firewall in much more detail. We have another feature called security heartbeat. So security heartbeat will help you. We will enable actually this security heartbeat and configure security heartbeat. This help us for the synchronized security. So we will discuss a lot of things. What is synchronized security with help of Sophos Central, Sophos Endpoints Intercept X, and Sophos Firewall. So यहाँ पे हमें 3 products चाहिए होंगे. So to understand the security heartbeat here and to use this feature. All right. So we'll discuss that. We'll see in the lab in action what is security heartbeat. All right. And also at last, advanced protection, we will enable and configure ATPs, and we will do alerts and what are different type of reports that we are getting from advanced threat protection in this module. So next module will be site-to-site connection. So in this module, we will discuss site-to-site connection. So we will, what are site-to-site connection? Let's say we want to connect our main branch office to the head office and multiple branch office to our network. So we will use site-to-site connections. We will use IPsec site-to-site connection. What are route-based? What is difference between route-based policy and policy-based routing on IPsec VPN? Those who are completely new with the Sophos Firewall, you don't have to worry about. We will do from the scratch, so you will understand this technology. Those who are already working with Sophos Firewall, you will learn more about what type of connection you should establish to meet your business need. If you have new requirement come ups, so what type of changes you like to check it, or will it require the downtime or not? So we will look into the configuration, we will audit those things, and we will go ahead and we'll understand. So similarly, we will understand here the type of connections, site-to-site connections, what are the different type of options available here. What are VPNs, what are VPN zone here? So we have zone-based firewall, right? So again, we have VPN here, we have LAN, we have VPN zone, DMZ zone, WAN zone. So we'll understand each of these zones in the firewall and understand the working, how it works. So it will clear all the doubts regarding your LAN, what is DMZ, what is VPN, and what is WAN. All right. Then we will configure, review and configure SSL VPN. This is generally for accessing, connecting a particular user from outside of your organization. The remote users, बाहर से अगर किसी users को हमें connect करना है to access the internal resource of the firewall, then we will use the SSL VPN here. We will connect this option. We will use this option. Also, we'll see what is difference between IPsec VPN and SSL VPN. Which other these two options available? You can configure to connect the remote users. But what are the difference between these? We will discuss in much more details. So with the SSL VPN, yes, of course, we can create different profile. Let's say particular user, एक particular user है, उसको particular server ही का ही access देना है बाहर से. Then we will use SSL VPN. If you want to give full access, then we can use the IPsec. What is not only that, there are multiple options available in each of these VPN options. So we'll see which options is suitable to meet your existing requirement. Last would be remote Ethernet device, that is RAD. So RAD are the particular devices, small devices, छोटे से devices, which are used to connect your head office, your branch office towards your head office. Right, so we'll see the deployment modes. What are the models available here? Yes, of course. We will clear all the doubts. Allow me some time, and we will discuss each and every doubts or query you have for all the participants available here. All right. So yes, we will discuss about the suggestions, and yes, of course, regarding to cybersecurity step by step. Okay. Now we will this authentication. This is the next module that we will cover up. On the authentication, we will use we will authenticate the user with help of captive portal and AD server in our lab. So we'll see what are the how we can authenticate user with captive portal page, CA client, the local authentication. Also, we will use the AD server for the authentication for STARS, how it works. So we'll have authentication overview, local authentication, that is the local captive portal we can say, or CA client, that where आपको एक client install करना है user के PC पे, वहाँ पे वो username password लिखेगा तो उसको internet access मिलेगा. All right. Similarly, there is a captive portal page. If you have enable authentication on firewall, आपने firewall पे authentication enable किया है, तो user के browser पे captive portal page आएगा जहाँ पे username और password डालना है. उसके बाद user को internet access मिलेगा. But we will see how it works, how we can configure. It is very simple, and we will see what are the challenges it might come on your existing topology. अगर किसी के पास already काम कर रहा है, then we will see how we can fine tune those settings and meet your requirement. And those who are जो भी नया deployment हो रहा है, then it is very easy for you to deploy once you learn this course for the authentication and all the rest of the modules as well. Okay, so we'll see authentication, what type of authentication server we can integrate with the firewall. We can integrate TACAS, Radius server, AD server, and much. You can authenticate all the servers with the Sophos XG firewall for authentication purpose. All right, so we'll see that. we'll also create users. Locally users create करेंगे, username password create करेंगे, all right. और अब अगर हमारे पास कोई सर्वर है, लेट्स से एडी सर्वर है, तो वहां से यूजर ग्रुप को इंपोर्ट करेंगे फायरवॉल पे, सो दैट वी डोंट हैव टू क्रिएट दोस यूजर एंड विल ऑथेंटिकेट दोस यूजर्स, right, through the, so we'll cover up all these modules, user and group, what are different type of users, or administrative users, normal users, clientless users, guest users, all right. So we'll discuss those. We'll configure each and every parameter one by one, तो आप उसको डिफरेंशिएट कर पाओगे कि कौन से गेस्ट यूजर्स है, कौन से एम्प्लॉइज है, ऑलराइट, कौन से आपके एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव यूजर्स है, कौन से क्लाइंट यूजर्स है, एंड सो ऑन. So we will also use some of the method like synchronous user identity, web authentication and SDAS, and agent for Chromebook authentication. Using authentication, where we can use this authentication, yes, जो firewall rules है, policies है, VPN routing, जहाँ पे भी हम ऑथेंटिकेशन जब भी हमने एनेबल किया हुआ है, सो यहाँ पे हम ऑथेंटिकेशन एनेबल करेंगे. सो वी विल यूज आवर टोपोलॉजी विद एंड विदाउट ऑथेंटिकेशन. वी विल सी व्हाट आर द डिफरेंसेस एंड सो ऑन. अगर हमने ऑथेंटिकेशन एनेबल किया, यस ऑफ कोर्स वी विल लुक इनटू द मल्टी फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन विद वन टाइम पासवर्ड. Now next would be the web protection. We'll see what would be covering in the web protection. So you can see here, we will look into the web protection overview. What is web protection? तो web protection में generally आपका web browser, web traffic आपका secure करेंगे. So to protect any type of malware or detecting malware, scanning the virus and drop the connection. All right. So we'll see what is difference between transparent and explicit proxy in much more detail in this module. We will see the global settings, जो firewall पे global settings होती है, उसके global settings कौन से है, protection settings, advanced settings और user settings. We will mainly we will configure web filter policies, जहाँ पे हम web filter policies create करेंगे, clone करेंगे. डिफॉल्ट पॉलिसीज भी होती है, मैं आपको लैब पे बताऊंगा अभी थोड़ी देर में. तो डिफॉल्ट पॉलिसीज होती है. पॉलिसीज क्या है यहाँ पे, लेट्स से आपको कुछ ब्लॉक करना है या कुछ अलाउ करना है, या फिर कोई पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे अलाउ करना है और पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे उसको स्टॉप करना है, ब्लॉक करना है, अलाउ करना है. ऑलराइट, सो that is the policies. So we'll create those, we will edit those policies multiple times. You will see the logs, कौन से challenges आते हैं, all right, how we can fix in day-to-day life. We will see with help of web protection policies. We will see quotas, we will apply traffic shapings. तो ये suppose वहाँ पे bandwidth apply करेंगे, quotas bandwidth 100 MB देना है, 1 GB देना है, alright, we will create this type of policies. तो जहाँ पे भी policies है, so these are the policies particular to that module. Let's say यहाँ पे web filter है, right? So web protection है, तो web filter में web policies, web filter categories आती है, alright? Then we have quotas policies, surfing schedules, schedule डाल सकते हैं, and so on. So we'll see in the lab, जब ये वाले मॉड्यूल पे आएंगे, then we will configure each of this policy one by one to see the effect. कैसे हम उसको कॉन्फ़िगर कर सकते हैं. जैसे रिक्वायरमेंट आती है कि लंच ब्रेक में फेसबुक ओपन होना चाहिए और लंच ब्रेक के बाद फेसबुक ओपन नहीं होना चाहिए, लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल, राइट? सो वी विल सी दैट. Similar to web protection, we have application control. So again, we will look into the application control, the overview, what are the application list available here, what are the live connections on the application control. All right, so I think, yep, now it is visible. All right, so similar to web protection, we have application control. So यहाँ पे भी हम policies जो existing default policies है जो firewall पे predefined है, वो उसको हम review करेंगे. We will create our own policies to allow or block any of the category. Category क्या होता है, जैसे social networking है, right? So file transfer है. So we have multiple websites. So we can allow or block the category as per our choice. So that is the application and web filter protection or control. So we'll see the existing policies, we'll create our own, we'll see what are the challenges that comes with the Sophos XG firewalls. All right, we'll see the application list that is available on Sophos XG firewall, and you can then take the action accordingly. So we'll discuss a lot of things on these modules. Synchronized app control क्या होगा यहाँ पे? जहाँ पे लेट्स से यू हैव Sophos intercept X, Sophos के एंड पॉइंट्स होने चाहिए, तब आप ये फीचर यूज कर पाओगे. Alright, so we will use this feature in our lab to see how synchronized app control works. So हम intercept X install करेंगे, that is generally antivirus provided by Sophos endpoints. So we will install this. जहाँ पे ऐसी एप्लीकेशन है जो categorized नहीं है, we will those application are get detected by your endpoints. वो फिर भेजेगा अपने firewall को, and then we can categorize those install application, और उसके हिसाब से हम action ले सकते हैं whether we have to allow that application or block the application. So with the help of application control, we have another feature called cloud application. We can also see the wizard for the what are the control center for this. वहाँ पे कौन सी application listed है वहाँ पे. Let's say you have cloud application, Azure है, cloud any cloud application that will get detected on the control central wizard. और उसके बाद हम उसको क्लासीफाई करेंगे, एंड उस पर अगर कोई बैंडविड्थ पॉलिसी अप्लाई करना है, देन वी अप्लाई पर्टिकुलर बैंडविड्थ सो दैट उसको डेडिकेटेड स्पीड मिले, राइट, एज इट इज होस्टेड ऑन द क्लाउड. लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल फेसबुक है, राइट, और एनी अदर एप्लीकेशन विच आर होस्टेड ऑन द क्लाउड. राइट, सो अगेन यस, ट्रैफिक शेपिंग हम यहाँ पे भी अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, बैंडविड्थ पॉलिसी हम वेब फिल्टर पे भी लगा सकते हैं और एप्लीकेशन फिल्टर पे भी लगा सकते हैं. सो विल सी, किसी को हम 1 Mbps देंगे, किसी को 2 Mbps देंगे, किसी को 5 Mbps स्पीड देंगे. ऑलराइट, एंड विल सी वेदर इट इज वर्किंग और नॉट, और इफ इट इज नॉट वर्किंग व्हाट आर द स्टेप्स दैट वी हैव टू टेक. नेक्स्ट वुड बी योर ईमेल प्रोटेक्शन. तो इफ यू हैव in-house email server, alright, so अगर आपके पास in-house mail server है या फिर बाहर पे भी, so how we can protect the email. So we will see the configuration. We will see the modes. What are the modes available? कौन से mode है यहाँ पे? Legacy mode and the MTA mode है यहाँ पे, ठीक है? So we'll see. We don't have to worry about, but we will go through those modes one by one. Which अगर दोनों को हमने switch किया, okay? So what firewall will act? All right. So कैसे firewall act करेगा MTA mode में और आपका legacy mode में. All right. So we'll see that mode. If you are not clear about this, no worries. Module पे हम much discuss करेंगे. We will discuss in this module. We will implement in our lab to see this working. All right. So we'll see all the smart holes. Again, यहाँ पे भी policies create होती है. सब जगह पे हम policy create करते हैं, जहाँ पे हम particular policy create करते हैं कि हमें क्या scan करना है, क्या action लेने हैं, उसके action लेना है, right? Action would be like allowed, drop, reject, and so on. So we'll see the email policies, what is SMTP route and scan, legacy SMTP, how we can use data control and encryption, how we can use the quarantine management and the KMI. Right. So next module will be remote access. So जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था, if you want to access if you want to give access to your internal resource, अगर आपके in-house, अगर कंपनी में कोई सर्वर है फॉर एग्जांपल, उसको बाहर से एक्सेस देना है, then we use the SSL VPN and IPsec VPN. Okay, so we'll go through the overview of both the VPNs, configuration, and the deployment option that is available on the firewall. All right, we will discuss about the clientless access portal. That is the one of the features, mobile access, how we can give access to the internal resource to the outside. All right, so next would be wireless protection. So आप Sophos सारे wireless API को एक controller तो चाहिए होता है, right? So how we can use Sophos XG Firewall as a controller. So we'll see here with the help of this module. That is wireless protection. So we'll look into the wireless overview. We will look into the wireless networks. What are the deployment options available while doing the while implementing the wireless network and its protection, and what are hotspot. So hotspot एक feature है, all right. So we'll use that hotspot. पहले हम overview देखेंगे, फिर हम wireless network configure करेंगे, different wireless network, जहाँ पे Sophos के ही API होंगे, all right. फिर deployment option देखेंगे, what is mesh technology and the simple way how we can deploy the access points और hotspot जो vouchers होते हैं, अगर कोई किसी को voucher देना है username password like guest users, you can use these features for the hotspot available. All right. So this would be completely on Sophos Sophos ecosystem. जहाँ पे अगर हम आपके थर्ड पार्टी एपी के जितने भी होंगे अगर जो ऑलरेडी काम कर रहे हैं Sophos Firewall में, अगर उनको प्रोटेक्ट करना है तो कर सकते हैं ये Sophos, बट दिस वुड बी कंप्लीटली डेडिकेटेड मॉड्यूल फॉर Sophos एपी. जो Sophos के भी
Sir,
एपीज आते हैं तो
we
उसके
have some
खुद से
questions. Can you
कॉन्फ़िगर
take
करना है
it?
Sophos Firewall से, ये हम ये मॉड्यूल पे देखेंगे. ऑलराइट, सो यू डोंट
Sir,
हैव टू.
we have some questions. Can you take it? Because pending since long in chat.
हेलो.
Yeah, we have some questions in chat. Can you take it?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, Ketan, firewall will support virtual domain function. Yes, these firewall will support virtual domain functions as well. All right. Ketan. Ketan, yes, you can deploy the firewall. We will see the deployment options. जो भी कहाँ पे हम firewall deploy कर सकते हैं, जितने भी deployment options है हम discuss करेंगे lab theory पे और lab पे भी. All right, so we'll see that options. Another question was, yes, you will definitely get the security. You will get the suggestion for cyber security step by step. Yes. So
So
yes,
I have one more question also, sir.
Yes, yes, please.
Regarding that, you told that everything, all this one box is supporting everything like firewall, then wireless, then WAF and everything. What about the license? We need to purchase separate license, or it will combine in one box all the license?
License would be in different modules. It depends on your requirement. Let's say if you require WAF or email protection, then you can purchase those license. If those things are not required, then it's fine. You don't have to purchase those license. But to make it work, अगर आपको if you want to make it run all the features, then yes, of course, license is required. We'll discuss about the license as well in much more detail, which are the necessary license you can purchase as per your business topologies and requirements. Let's say if you have some in-house server to be protected, then in that case, yes, of course, WAF, if you want to run through Sophos Firewall, then you require the license. If you required, if you have in-house email server, then yes, of course, you require the license. And we will discuss about the license bundles in much more detail. Yes, of course, in the upcoming modules. In labs, you will have 30 days of free trial, means you will have full license on the firewall for next 30 days. So you can use all the features. You don't have to purchase the license here while working, when we are working on this batch. You will see how this module works with the license and without license. And accordingly, if you have production environment, you can buy those license accordingly. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Great.
Okay, next question was the you need the suggestion for security, cyber security step by step. I will help you regarding the auditing of the Sophos XG firewall. That will help you to take the action for cyber security purpose. All right, so we'll see that. And okay, so our last module will be the second last would be logging and reporting. So we'll at the last, जब हमने सब कुछ configure कर लिया होगा, if we have configured everything, it is properly placed on the firewall rules, the policy are properly placed, properly हमने configure किया है, the best part would be to get the reports from the firewall so that we can take the action. So we will take the action accordingly to the reports that we are getting from the firewall. We will discuss about the key challenges, what type of reports we will get, how to troubleshoot the reports and how we can fix it. And we will discuss a lot of things about logging and reporting on this module. So we'll see reports, what are the different type of reports available on Sophos Firewall, the bookmarks, what are bookmarks here, what are application risk and UTQ, threat intelligence reports, and much more. We also set up some notifications from firewall. Let's say if you have some connectivity, all right, those are already working with Sophos XG firewall. Let's say if you have some ISP down, you will get the notification. So we will see the notification by email setting, SNMP configuration, and what are the notification lists that are available on Sophos firewall to get those notification on our email to notify us if anything goes wrong. Let's say, for example, firewalls gets down or IPsec goes down and so on. We also get reports on the email. जो भी हमें reports जो format में हमें चाहिए, तो we will not save those reports on the firewall. We will save it, or we will just export. We will get automatic reports on our email, and yes, we will discuss a lot of things about this, how we can manage and maintain logging and reporting from the firewall. Throughout this lab, we will see if something is not working, we will fix it with help of logging and log viewer and syslog server and log configuration in this firewall. So जब हम Sophos firewall configure करते हैं, all right, steps are easy, let's say, but in case it is not working, we can fix it. How? We can see the logs and we can see what is the root cause, and we can take the action and we can fix as per the logs, right? So we'll see that what are the different scenarios. Lab पे जब different scenarios आएंगे जहाँ पे हम logs देखेंगे, and we will see what is happening with the traffic and how we can route it properly, how we can fix it. We'll discuss about the firmware versions also. We will discuss about the HA. और हम यहाँ पे जो हमारा topology होगा, we will have two MPLS link. Those who are already working with Sophos XG, they might know the failover. So हम failover करेंगे with let's say there is a head office and branch office. So we'll configure the failover between MPLS. We'll configure the failover between IPsec VPN. We will configure HA, high availability, in each of the office in our lab, and we'll see the zero downtime in our network. The last would be the central management. Yes, of course, सारी जितनी भी firewall होगी हम cloud से access करेंगे. If we, let's say, if you want to access from outside, we will access all the firewall. जितनी lab की firewalls होगी, all right, वो हम बाहर से access करेंगे securely. जो भी हम lab पे सीखेंगे वो आपके real life scenario पे implement रहेगा. All right. So let's say if you have multiple firewalls, जैसे हमारे lab पे multiple firewalls होगी, so सबके पास access हो गया. If you want to access from outside, we will access to Sophos central management. We will also see how we can upgrade the firmware version of firewalls. बाहर से means cloud से, जैसे जितनी भी firewall से cloud से manage होती है, right? If you some are might be aware or some might not be aware. So those who are not aware, no worries. Those who know, they might know much more in this central management course module. You will learn about what are the backups options available, how we can push the configuration, कैसे हम एक साथ सारी firewall से configuration cloud से push करेंगे, all right, and we'll see zero touch deployment option available here. Also, we have central firewall reporting, जो हमारे firewall पे reports store होते हैं, all right, that we will not store on the firewall, but instead हम cloud पे store करेंगे, all right. Okay, if anyone has any doubts or query till now, you can let me know. These are the modules that we will cover and topics. So till now, anyone has any doubts or query?
Sir,
just
the
raise
Palo
your hand
Alto,
so I can ask you.
in the Palo Alto, there's
All
the
right.
one option is that
Let's go ahead.
CCNP.
So yes, of course, the course objective, once you complete this course, you will able to explain how Sophos protects against the security threats, configure how you can configure firewall rules, policies, and user authentication. You will demonstrate the threat protection and the commonly used features, and perform initial setup of Sophos XG firewall and configure network settings. All right. So today, let's, yeah. Hello. Can you hear me, Ketan?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Ketan, can you, you can ask me if you have any doubt.
Yes, in the Palo Alto, there is a one option is that ECM's equal cost multipath. This functionality is there in Sophos or no?
Hello.
Hello, you can hear me?
Yes, now I can. Ketan, can you please repeat your question again?
Yeah, in the Palo Alto, there's an option is that ECMP equal cost multipath means two ISP we can do the load balancing. This functionality is there in Sophos.
Ketan, I'm so sorry. Your voice was breaking. Just give me a moment. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I think I know I am not. Just give me a moment. I think issue is from my end. Your voice is not audible. Ketan, I think mine is audible, but not yours. Just give a moment. Okay, just put on the chat as of now.
Yes, I did that, sir.
Okay, put your question on the chat. I will read it and I will say, all right, because I think there is issue. Okay. So meanwhile, let me just go ahead. Yes. We will discuss about the load balancing. If you have, let's say you have multiple ISPs. Okay, so yes, of course, we will route the traffic for particular service or application to particular ISPs. Also, we will have the failovers with the MPLS and IPsec and your internet traffic. Or if you have any particular voice application, let's say you have running voice applications, then we will route those traffic with the particular ISP. So we will use the SD-WAN feature here to meet your requirement. Yes, Ketan, am I clear? Are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, the feature is available. We will configure it with the SD-WAN. All right, we will configure multiple SD-WAN policies to route particular traffic to understand the SD-WAN technology. All right. So yes, of course. Okay, I'm so sorry. Actually, you are not audible. Maybe the issue may with my mic, so I will just fix it. But yes, of course, your requirement can be met with the help of SD-WAN technology. We will understand those things in much more detail. All right. Okay, great. Okay, so what is Sophos Firewall? We will look into the first module, that is overview of the Sophos Firewall. What are the deployment options available on Sophos Firewall? The anatomy of attack and the zero trust. All right. So we will understand everything in much more detail. So this module, the first module, the Sophos Firewall include the deployment option that is available to you. So we will guide you through the also the anatomy of attack and to introduce the key security technologies in Sophos technology. जैसे कि कोई attack होता है, right? तो अटैक करने के लिए जो भी चेन होगा, राइट, उसको सोफोस कैसे ब्रेक करेगा विद हेल्प ऑफ दिस मॉड्यूल्स, जितने भी हमारे पास मॉड्यूल्स हैं. Okay, let's say we have web protection, we have email protection, we have application control, we have zero-day protection, we have synchronized security, and much more security features are available. तो जो एनाटॉमी जो अटैक होता है, अटैक करता है यूजर, तो उसको पहले ही फेस पे कैसे ब्लॉक करेगा, या फिर ऑलरेडी आपके पास लेट्स से सिस्को का राउटर है अभी, कोई आप सिस्को का राउटर है, उसको आपने सोफोस से रिप्लेस किया, तो ऑलरेडी अटैक शायद चल रहा होगा, तो उसको वो कैसे वो ब्रेक करेगा विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस modules, web protection, email protection, and so on. So we'll see this key security technology with Sophos Firewall, how to protect against the common threats. And yes, we will also discuss about the zero trust, explaining what are to trust no one and allow the secure connection. Okay, so next. All right, so what is Sophos Firewall? We will discuss that in much more detail. So we will have the Sophos Firewall as a next generation firewall, the which is very visible and protect and responsive firewall. While in all protection, as you have said, it's cover all the modules. If you are using this, of course, if you have license, then you can use all in protection for consolidate and simplify and save. And we'll see all the features: SD-WAN, branch, endpoint integration, what is the cloud, public cloud, and how this screw protection, affordable, simple compliance and control can be achieved. So we know that Sophos Firewall is a network security device, and yes, of course, it is a zone-based firewall and identity policy at its core. The Sophos Firewall is generally identity-based. You can say layer 8. Also, it again is as a zone-based firewall, LAN, WAN, DMZ, or we will discuss about the VPN zones in much more detail. We will create our own custom zone, let's say Wi-Fi zone, or we have HA zone, or we have printer zone, and so on. So we can configure those zones and we can implement those zones on the interfaces. So we'll look into the scratch. यहाँ पे हम पूरा स्क्रैच से ही कॉन्फ़िगर करेंगे. Yes, of course, we will see जो हमारा लैब टोपोलॉजी होगा, लैब पे होगा, यहाँ पे हमारे पास 5-6 ISPs होंगी. वहाँ पे हमारे पास मल्टीपल MPLS होंगे, and we will configure the failovers. We will see the how failover works and so on once it is configured. So Sophos Firewall does not only protect your wire network, but also acts as a wireless controller for Sophos access point that can be provide secure wireless networking functionalities. All right, so protection is provided through single cloud-based platform, making day-to-day management for your all the Sophos products, including Sophos 5, easy and scalable. All right. So what we'll do, let's say we will begin with the modes. So in this, yes, in this module, you will learn about how to connect the firewall, how to configure Sophos Firewall with basic step necessary to setting up and running. You will begin with the managing the Sophos Firewall and with the web admin and learn about its core concept and objects ready to configure the rules and policies in the later all the modules. तो यहाँ पे जब हम Sophos Firewall configure करेंगे, all right, so we'll connect with the internet, one of the internet ISPs. हम लैब पे भी स्टार्ट ऐसे ही करेंगे, पहले एक ISP कॉन्फ़िगर करेंगे, then another ISP, then multiple जितनी ISPs हम कॉन्फ़िगर करनी इतनी कर सकते हैं. All right, let's say I believe 4 is enough, right? You can configure 4 for testing purpose. You can configure 2 MPLS as a WAN zone, all right, so that you can meet your requirement for the load balancing. But we will do from the scratch. We will configure पहले ISP connect करेंगे. We will get the access of the firewall, CLI का access लेंगे, GUI का access लेंगे, all right. Then we will configure objects. So objects create करेंगे so that हम firewall rule पे हम use करेंगे, all right. So क्या firewall पे क्या होता है? Generally objects create करते हैं, right? Like addresses, services, and so on. We will use those services on the firewall rules so that we can apply the policies and secure the network. Okay. So in this module, जो भी हमारा ये module होगा, हम वो gateway mode पे काम करेंगे, right? So you can see the diagram. I think just give a moment. Hello, am I audible now? Okay, thank you, Alok. Okay, so let me just discuss back what. So this is the you can see on the diagram. This is the gateway mode. So gateway mode kya hai? All right. So what is gateway mode? Those who don't know, don't worry. This is for only for those who doesn't know what is gateway mode right now. But yes, of course, jinko pata hai, then you can enhance the knowledge. Yes, and what we'll see what is gateway mode here. Can we configure bridge mode? Can we configure mixed mode? Everything on one firewall or not? We will see that. We will see in the lab also. We will configure it, whether it is working or not. So first deployment would be the gateway mode. So deployment mode हमारा होगा gateway mode पे जो हमारा पहला topic है, right? So whenever you deploy the firewall, तो firewall आप कहाँ पे deploy कर सकते हैं, alright? So physical box भी होता है, right? You get the box, you unbox it, alright, and you configure it. You have virtual firewalls and you have multiple other ways you can deploy the firewalls, alright? So यहाँ पे हम virtually देखेंगे, alright? We will discuss about the physical firewall as well in much more detail. So whenever you have new firewall, alright, so first make sure you have you registered the firewall. All right, so first you have to connect the internet connection. जो आपका internet connection आ रहा है, all right, वो आपको port B पे connect करना है हमेशा. Port B पे आपके Sophos firewall पे connect करना है, port A पे आपके laptop connect करना है जब आप सबसे पहले deployment करते हो. All right, so whenever you access Sophos firewall, the default IP would be here is 172.16.16.16. Okay, so sorry for this. So it is 16.16.16/24. This is your network. All right. So you can configure. हमने last अगर हमने आपने वीडियो देखा होगा तो मैंने यहाँ पे Sophos firewall का initial setup हमने किया था last video पे. All right. So we will have access of the Sophos firewall in 172.16.16.16.16/24. तो जो लैपटॉप है, ठीक है, ऑटोमेटिक आईपी मिल जाएगा. अगर नहीं मिलता है तो आप मैन्युअली कॉन्फ़िगर करो, गेटवे डालना है 172.16.16.16 और आपको फायरवॉल का एक्सेस मिल जाएगा. ऑलराइट, और आईपी दे दो 172.16.16.16 लेट्स से 100. ओके, 100 दे दो और गेटवे क्या देना है 172 जो फायरवॉल का आईपी है जो 172.16.16.16 and you will get the access here. Alright, /24. So subnetting, we will discuss subnetting, those who want to discuss the subnetting but not here but later. Okay, those who want to know, we will discuss it later. All right, so we'll use different networks here. All right, so let me just put the another one. All right, so we'll discuss about this. Okay, so let me just share the lab that we will be working on. Let me share the labs. All right. So we'll discuss about the gateway mode. All right. So gateway mode क्या है वो discuss करेंगे lab पे आज, and then we will continue tomorrow, and we will discuss about the doubts. All right. So we will be working on the multiple topologies, both SIAM topologies यहाँ पे create करेंगे, so that we understand how we can configure the firewall. So in this topology, what I configure here is that this is the simple one. So we have some lag configuration, we have some bridge configuration, we have some static routes चल रहे हैं यहाँ पे, all right, between the firewall and the L3. I'm running OSPF between this. We will जो लैब होगा हमारा, ठीक है, लैब पे हम करेंगे static routing करेंगे यहाँ पे दोनों के बीच पे with the firewall and the L3. We will configure the dynamic routing, all the dynamic protocols we will configure one by one. First, we will start with the static, then we will configure RIP, we will go, then we will configure OSPF and BGP between the firewall and the switch, L3 switch. Okay, we'll configure L3 switch, we will configure multiple network, and we will have access. All right, and we will also see what we can do in this topology. All right, so we'll configure this one. If I just let me just what I can do, let me show you the another topology that we'll be working on. जो हम दूसरी एक और एक topology पे काम करने वाले हैं, उसको भी मैं let me just show you guys. Okay, let me stop all the nodes first. Okay, and let me just go to the close tab. Okay, this might not look good, but yes, let me just show you. Yeah, so I think I can move and show you. Just move this. Okay, so this would be our lab. All right, so this would be the another lab we will configure. जो हम यहाँ पे लैब पे ये पूरा टोपोलॉजी ये भी कॉन्फ़िगर करेंगे कैसे. तो यहाँ पे हमारा जो फायरवॉल होगा वो HA में होगा. ऑलराइट, सो अगर कोई भी फायरवॉल डाउन होता है, राइट, एक्टिव पे करेंगे, एक्टिव एंड एक्टिव पैसिव HA. We'll configure active passive. We will see how failover works. All right, in the live session. We will also configure active passive और कैसे हम ट्रैफिक को यहाँ पे load balance करेंगे. All right. Then we have multiple ISPs that are connected here. You can see. So हम यहाँ पे SD-WAN use करेंगे. We will use SD-WAN settings to route the particular traffic. We will use STARS for authentication. Captive portal भी करेंगे और we'll use STARS. We have AD server here. We also configure the switch, L3 switch, right? And this would be your topology. We have MPLS, two MPLS connection, and we have branch office. So this is our head office, and this is our branch office. We will also configure the IPsec site to site failover. If one ISP fails, then traffic will pass from another IPsec tunnel. There would be two tunnels between the head office and the branch. This is your branch office. All right, this firewall is your branch office. So we'll see that. Okay, this branch office is connected with two MPLS link here. Okay, let me just position it properly. All right, so yeah, and HA. All right, we will configure another HA active passive and active here, and we will configure the failover between the MPLS so that this PC, okay, let's say this PC can ping this PC. So